This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace.
Hello, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we are your hosts. I'm Grace.
And I'm Alexis.
And we are back continuing our Moville Mysteries arc, and it is Alexis's turn to tell us a spooky tale, a cursed tale, a messed up tale, Moville Mysteries could be any of these things, a fucked up tale. I gotta say real quick as a side note, like I've already written my final episode for Moville Mysteries, but I briefly saw in one of the comments, and I'm sorry I didn't write your name down again, but the person who originally suggested Moville Mysteries to us left a comment that the second or like the third or fourth episode of this show, like there's a serial killer on the loose. And they were like, yeah, no, in this world they fully were like,
accept
serial killers. And I was like, who's done that episode?
I will say that since I saw you weren't doing that episode, I did watch it.
Was it amazing?
And it's amazing. It's full. I mean, the comment is correct. And I mean, I think it's even in the description. Like when you're reading it on Wikipedia, it's not hidden. Like this is an open fact. And
this is an episode about a serial killer. So at some point, if we return to this arc, I'll pass that one to you because I'm now curious.
Yes, and I think we definitely should. I mean, I know we've got a few more episodes of this arc left, so we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I think it's pretty safe to say we love this show enough to definitely do another arc. And there's enough episodes of it.
Oh, yeah.
To do another arc. So
for sure.
Yeah, for those of you who are loving it too, don't worry, we'll come back to it again in the future after this one's over.
Yep, and I think we have 3 episodes left of this arc. So with that, Alexis, take her on away to Spooky Lane.
Take her to Spooky Avenue. So
haven't we sung that before? We've definitely referenced Electric Avenue on
Electric Avenue before. Tangent Avenue.
Avenue. Yeah. There we go.
So now we've got Tangent Avenue and Spooky Avenue.
We're building a whole town. We built the city.
On not rock and roll, but on spooks and crime.
Crime.
So yes, today's episode, Grace and I, before we start recording, we warm up for each episode, kind of just chatting, catching up and everything. And somehow today our catch-up conversation ended on a perfect note to lead us into today's episode where we were talking about strong women, feminism, powerful women.
Yep.
Sort of. We were talking about that, but
it got there.
It somehow wound up there. But it's perfect for today because today's episode, it is indeed spooky, creepy, and scary, and we'll show some fucked up stuff happening too. A strong, powerful woman or teenage girl, at least, living in Ouija Falls. She is our main character today, and her name is Hannah Halston. Hannah, she has bright orange hair pulled into a high ponytail, light yellowish skin, so pretty normal for a toxic, poisoned resident of Ouija Falls.
Yep.
And she has on lavender eyeshadow and blue lipstick, and most importantly, she always is wearing a very chic outfit.
Oh, okay.
Hannah, though, unfortunately, she's got a pretty rude and pretentious demeanor, leaving a lot to be desired and giving many reasons to stay very far away from her.
Okay.
But as a result of this horrible attitude, her one true friend, as some, like Mo, say, is her own reflection.
Oh, okay.
Yes. There isn't a mirror that Hannah doesn't love. Not a single mirror that she hasn't stopped and looked into and just basked in her own presence.
Her own glory.
Her own glory, her own reflection. And most importantly, also about Hannah, as I kind of mentioned before, is that she's a fashion freak, always wearing the newest, nicest, most chic outfit. But she also wants everyone to know about it at all times.
Okay.
So She often goes to the local shopping mall and berates her classmates for their outfit choices, which also shopping mall, LOL, sign of the times, by the way. Early
Yes.
2000s, man. We'll never
Yeah.
get those times back. Just going to the shopping mall
Just
to hang
hanging
out
out
with
at
your
the
friends.
mall, getting dropped
Exactly.
off.
Right. Meeting all these different groups of
Yeah.
friends randomly and then being like, oh, hey, let's go shopping here. Okay, I'll see you guys later. And then meet up again. Anyways,
Also, I'm
kids
so
these days, they'll
glad.
never know.
They'll never know.
Yeah.
I'm so glad just hearing this episode. I'm reminded of how happy I am that we had a school uniform in high school.
Oh my God, so true. And for me in
Fucking
grade school
best.
too.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, high school, oh my God,
So
it made life
nice.
so easy. Yeah.
So easy.
It's like your biggest self-expression you could do was your socks and your shoes within limits. They couldn't be a certain height, or the shoes had to have laces at least in them, I think we're according to the
Yeah, some
rules.
shit like that. But either way,
So
we'll
much
take it.
self-expression.
Yeah,
Yes.
loved
Our
it.
uniforms were great though, too. They were super
God,
comfortable.
they were
So
so comfortable.
I
Go
was
back to
fine
those
with it.
days. AKA just wearing a
Yes.
uniform that we just kept in our trunks of our cars.
Literally, especially for us, because like going to rowing afterwards, we just threw it in the trunk and then got on the
Picked it
water,
up the
and then it
next
would be there
day.
for us the next morning,
Yeah.
when we
Walking into
got to
class.
school. Exactly. So, yes, Hannah though, Hannah would hate us. Okay, she would look at us like, oh my God, she would want
Trash.
to set us on fire. Like, yes,
Hurl us into the sun. You know what? Fine.
yes.
I'll be comfy
So
when she does it.
honestly, yeah, true. Those kilts, man. They seem aerodynamic enough
Oh
to
yeah,
launch into
everyone. We had
space.
kilts, not skirts, by the way. That
Yeah,
is
not
important
skirts. They were
to
straight up
know. It was a
kilts. It
full
is.
kilt. It's great.
Hmm. And I love them. They're like blankets. So,
Truly.
yes, Hannah, often goes to the local shopping mall and berates her classmates for their outfit choices and purchases because she sees her life's duty as helping the quote unquote fashionably challenged. So, which, I mean, I might steal that actually, the fashionably challenged. It's the
It's a great
kindest
insult.
way to say someone has trash
Yeah.
style. Yes.
I
So,
love it.
for example, one day at the mall, she runs into our favorite trio, our stars, Mimi, Hitch, and Milo, aka Momo, while shopping at the mall. And she tells them this is her example of how she has to counsel people through their style choices.
Okay.
She tells them, starting with Mimi, I'm so glad to see you're finally buying new clothes. Make sure Make sure to stop at the hair salon on your way out too.
Sorry, I
You've
love
had a
her.
bad hair day. You've had a bad hair day going since the second grade. And then which like, okay, to a certain extent, I was like, damn, go off, girl. But also I was like, oh, but we love Mimi too. So I was like,
Yeah, we
damn, that's
love
kind of
her.
harsh for Mimi.
Yeah,
So I'm kind of conflicted here. Hitch, then she tackles Hitch because Hitch is kind of like giggling at this, like her making fun of Mimi is making
yeah.
him laugh. So she's like, "Oh, don't think you're off the hook." She didn't actually
Don't get me
say that, but
started.
that's like the way that's the
3D
way she looks at him,
glasses.
like up down to him, literally. And yeah, I think she mentions the 3D glasses, the baggy clothes, etc. But what she really hits him on are his ratty sneakers and tells him that he's got to go and buy new glow in the dark sneakers by UBU Sport.
Okay.
And then she gets to our favorite Milo,
He does
Momo.
dress like he's in a bowling alley.
He does. So at first, she compliments his retro vintage shirt,
Oh,
like,
okay.
"Oh, this is actually a kind of nice fit. I really like that. It's like retro and vintage is in. So okay, not cool, not too bad." But she's utterly disgusted when Mo tells her that he actually just got it on sale for like 60% off at Big Mart. She's like, oh, she like, again, as I said before with us, she like looks like she wants to set him on fire. So,
Real quick,
yeah.
as a total side note, this is reminding me of what she said to Mimi is like one of my favorite. I think it's a New Yorker cartoon, and it's like a dad
Mhm.
talking to his child on the playground, and he's telling his child, "Son, if you don't have anything nice to say, say something clever but and devastating,"
Yes.
which is this bitch.
This is her,
So
literally.
far, I'm having a great time with her.
Yeah. Hannah Halston, So maybe I was a little too mean in the way I described her before
I'm sure
about
she's going to take a
being
turn and
contentiously
be
rude.
horrible, but so far she's not bullying
Yeah.
me. So I'm having a good time.
I don't mind watching bullies. I just don't want to be bullied.
I'm not the target. It's on
Yeah.
someone else.
So that's cool. I can be a casual observer. That's all right. So I think perhaps the same day at the mall, maybe it's another day, but nonetheless, at the same mall, in the same store, she later runs into some other classmates of hers and Mo and Mimi, etc., at Lone Pine High School. And these two classmates, they are admittedly on the nerdier side.
Oh no.
Their names are Stella and Dodie. And now that Grace coming off of what you just said, I'm like, damn, Grace is gonna love Hannah even more now.
Oh, no.
This isn't gonna tug at Grace's heartstrings. She's already rooting for Hannah. No, we'll see. I don't think so. But I mean, since they're nerdy, it's like, yeah, they kind of deserve this.
Yeah, we don't support bullying unless it's clever and devastating.
Exactly. So Hannah, she comes up to them, and these girls, I think that they're just happy that Hannah, who is kind of seen as more popular, that she's even talking to them. So I don't think they take it as insults and everything. But she's like, oh, wow, good thing you guys are here. Kind of like she said to Mimi before, like to buy new clothes. But they're also trying to like show Hannah what they've already bought. And one of them, I think it's Stella, she like always is wearing stripes. And Hannah's like, what? I don't like, you always look like a zebra or something like that. Or you need to get away from the stripes. She's going in on them, picking apart their outfits, their lack of stylistic vision, their purchase choices, all of that. And like I said, Stella and Dodie are just like accepting it, like, okay, cool. Like, what should we do, Hannah? Like,
yeah, she's kind of like
Regina, you want to hang out with us?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's very true. But Stella and Dodie are no Gretchen. And,
right. But they're like, oh my God, she talked to us.
Exactly. Vibes. Yes. And she's making a point to like help us in whatever way. So Hannah, she tells the girls that there's still time to return the ugly outfits that they just bought. Yes, they're still in the bags. Let's go. She like literally grabs them by their hands and starts to walk them back into the department store to help them return the stuff and buy new things. Great. But as they're making their way through the mall, Hannah is ambushed by her younger brother, Larry, who has rushed to the mall to find her upon their parents' orders.
Okay.
Apparently, Larry tells her after like tackling her essentially and like stopping her, apparently their rich great aunt Marion has just died and the funeral will be held soon. And Larry, disturbingly, excitedly delivers this message to Hannah, adding on how excited he is to see a real live corpse. These are all direct quotes from the show.
Larry?
Children, are your parents gone?
Children, don't you want to see your dead relatives?
Yes, exactly. Wow. Someone needs to have a talk with Larry, or these parents need to keep an eye on Larry. He's obsessed with the money, and he's obsessed with this dead body that he is about to see. And he's
putting together dead body, if it's your relatives, could equal money.
Not good, Larry. Remember I said rich great aunt. She is rich. That is the most important quality about her in Larry's mind.
Great.
So Hannah, who broke a nail during this collision with Larry, is too upset to be sad about this news, while her friends, Stella and Dodie, are like, oh my God, like, Hannah, do you need to sit down? Do you need us to get you something? We're so sorry about your loss. Like, do you need a shoulder to cry on? Like, is everything okay? And she's just like, I need to go fix my nail. But then it fully clicks what exactly Larry has just told her.
Rich
great aunt Marion has died. And she shrieks at the thought of a funeral and that she now has to quickly buy a new outfit for the occasion.
Was the shriek of excitement?
Yes, a shriek of excitement, because she's like, I get to buy a new outfit.
Okay.
Exactly.
Great.
Because you see, a funeral to Hannah, it's not just a funeral. It's a runway. It's a chance to show your style. Black, please, timeless color. Look at me. I bet if you guys look at the thumbnails from all of our episodes or whatever, how many times am I wearing black? Okay.
Yeah,
it's just the timeless go-to.
Hannah would have
All right,
nothing
you too.
to say to you.
Yeah. Exactly.
She'd be like, check.
Literally. Check. Good.
Wow.
So, yes, not too long later, maybe a day or so, maybe even that day. Like I said, the timeline here is all kind of dicey. We see the entire Halston family proceeding into, sadly, what's a mostly empty church. It's a massive church, but only a few of the pews have any people in them.
Okay.
And so the parents are trying to grieve. And also the parents kind of look like they're like made of money. They're, very proper and elegant. And the dad's got like thick, dark, slick back hair and everything. So they never really say what they do. I don't even think we ever learn their names, but they seem to be very focused on image and they have money. Yeah. And we do see their house later. It's a massive house, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
So the parents, they're there trying to grieve with family and honor the memory of this great Aunt Marian, or I guess their Aunt Marian. Mm-hmm. And Hannah, like I said before, she's treating this funeral more like a runway event, while also Larry, by the way, her brother, is using this as like a playtime activity. Because again, he's excited to see this dead corpse.
Trying to get in that casket.
They go up to the open casket to take one last look at their Aunt Marian. Upon approaching, Hannah immediately says, "Oh no." And it sounds like an oh no out of grief or out of strife, out of pain. Mm-hmm. And Larry's like, "Hey, calm down. We hardly even knew her." Terrible.
Damn, this kid. No
but
emotion.
Hannah, she looks at her little brother, kind of like scoffs at him, rips the pillow out from the casket, bends over and says, "My shoes are scuffed," as she wipes down her black heels with the pillow from her great Aunt Marian's
head
casket,
just conked back into the coffin.
Exactly. That was my first thought. I was like, so first of all, I will say the cartoon doesn't actually show inside of the casket, which is good. Because when they showed the whole funeral and everything, I was like, this might be a step too far if they actually show us his dead body. I was like, please, Moville Mysteries, stop there. Don't go
Someone
any further.
Get an editor in here.
Exactly. But yeah, in my mind, when we see her just rip this pillow out of here, my brain immediately thought like, ooh, dead body head just boom, snap back, like makes a thud in the casket.
That's not good things happening. Also, someone get these children.
Yeah. Again, like where your parents. So the parents are like at the end of the church, I guess, or like, at the main door still talking with people or just talking to each other and stuff. And the kids walked up first. Yeah. But somebody come get these kids.
Like, please. These kids are raised by a nanny, not the parents. Where's the nanny?
Right. Hopefully she has the day off. She needs a day off. She's probably just like at their house smoking a cigarette.
Chain smoking.
Yes.
Thinking about wine. Just lighting, like throwing the cigarette, lighting the house on fire.
No one will ever know.
Good for her.
Yeah. So, anyways, Hannah, she's wiping her shoe off with this pillow from the casket, and she tosses the pillow to Larry once she's finished with it. And this like grosses Larry out because he's like, "Ew, it touched a dead woman." He like yells this out loud. And so he tosses it out of his hands, just like kind of throws it back. And it, of course, hits his father clear in the face. His parents finally step into action and they angrily rush towards the kids, telling them to show some respect and like sit their asses down, essentially. Correct. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Specifically, though, they tell this to Larry, and they say that he needs to act more like his sister, who now is just calmly standing there with her arms behind her back, acting like a little angel. Okay. Of course, they didn't see her wipe her shoes off with this pillow. Exactly. So after the funeral, and again, thankfully, they don't like show us the funeral either. I was going to say, this is already like a little too heavy for a kid show, so let's keep it moving.
Let's lighten the mood.
So, yes. So, I'm glad you said that, Grace. What do you think lightens the mood directly after a funeral? What do you think is the best?
I think for Hannah, it's more shopping. Or it's getting the will read and seeing how much money she has.
And
that's her version of happy and lightening the mood, is getting an inheritance, even though she didn't know this old lady.
Not only do you know cartoons well, but you know me well, because Grace, what kind of episodes of cartoons do I always happen to do on this podcast?
There's a Will, there's an Alexis.
There's an ready to make fun of. You should have known. And to be fair, I didn't know this episode.
She's here.
There is a lawyer. He's here, and we're about to talk about it. She's here, aka me, and he's here, aka this other guy whose name I don't think we get in this episode. But
I should have known.
Yeah.
How do you always?
I don't even truly, because I'm telling you, it wasn't in the episode description, and it didn't even cross my mind, because we're maybe like 6 or 7 minutes into the episode at this point, and I'm watching like, this finally an episode that has nothing to do with a will.
So she thought,
just about shopping. Yeah. Oh no, did they just say someone died who was rich?
Your heart starts palpitating.
But actually, no, I got excited because, yes.
I knew it.
I love talking about wills. We're not really going to talk about it that much in this one, but yeah, it's funny that, if you listeners and viewers had a nickel or a dime for every time I talked about a will on this podcast, you'd have like 50 or 75 cents or something. Truly. So that's pretty good. Not going to lie.
So like, you're welcome.
Some gum. Yeah. You know what? If you like, comment, subscribe, maybe I'll Venmo every new follower 75 cents or something like that as a thank you for
Alexis will.
For that.
I'm not part of this.
No.
If Alexis gets added to your will.
Yeah. Now then I'll give you 75 cents. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hope that's legal. I'm pretty sure that's legal. 75 cents.
Show us the paperwork. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Send me the whole will in PDF. I'll make sure I'm in there, and then I'll give you 75 cents. Yeah. Cool. So, yes, directly after this funeral, the Halston family, they do the very, mood enlightening thing of going to Aunt Marion's attorney to read what the fuck they get from her will. What is her estate going to pass on to them? And so they, of course, they're in this big ornate office that's very, it's kind of like Gothic meets like Indiana Jones, if you will. Okay. I don't know. Or like Addams Family is, which I guess is like the Gothic sort. Yeah. And of course, perfect for Ouija falls.
Yeah.
And I should say, though, it's 3 of the 4 Halstons that are in the office right now talking with the lawyer. The dad, the mother, and Larry. Oh. And the lawyer, he obviously notices that, one person is missing, aka Hannah. So he says, like, well, should we introduce each other or anything while we're talking, or while we're sitting here waiting for Hannah, you guys? And they're like, yeah, she should be here any minute. Just give her a second.
Yeah.
And so Mr. Halston, in this time, to like kill the time, I guess, I think actually Mrs. Halston, the mom, is a blood relative of Great Aunt Marion. So the 2 of them, they're like, so tell us about Aunt Marion. How about that while we're waiting? Tell us about her, because we never really had a chance to meet her, and we know very little about her.
Okay.
And the lawyer says that essentially Marion was as great a mystery to him as she was to the Halstons.
Ooh, okay.
And he only ever corresponded with her through mail. So he never met her in person, and he never, I don't even think, talked to her on the phone. So, like you said, a recluse, a mysterious woman, but rich. A rich, mysterious woman. Honestly, the best way to be rich. Like, exactly. I don't know about you. You should be minding your own business.
Anonymous, baby.
So At that moment, after the lawyer has explained this, Hannah bursts through the office doors, these massive wooden office doors, and announces her presence, of course, sporting a brand new outfit, because guess she obviously wasn't all done with the black look. So it's like what is called the Après Funeral Collection by Patricia L'Amour.
Oh, gosh.
Which is essentially just an oversized black sweatshirt. I think it's just, like a black sweatshirt, which in a way it's like, yeah, I get that. Like, yeah, you just want to like change into your comfortable clothes after a funeral and just, feel nice and warm, but
$400.
First of all, minimum. And second, to actually have a collection based on that. Après funeral. Yes. Wild times. So when the group, so she obviously is like yelling this or, announcing this to her audience, and the group just silently stares at her like, what are you doing? And so she just slowly walks in and sits down by Larry on a sofa.
Okay, good.
And so the lawyer, he continues his story saying that while he never met Aunt Marion in person, he can assure the family that she was indeed very, very wealthy. And this excites Larry, of course, who jumps up from his sofa and he's like, yes, show me the money. Out loud.
Get your children.
Get your children. The parents thankfully glare at him very fiercely, and he quickly sits back down and shuts his fucking mouth. Like, okay, I'm sorry, I will be quiet now. Yep. The lawyer, clearing his throat, then brings the family's attention back to him, and he informs them, like the G she was, again, we like this kind of millionaire, or this kind of rich, very, very rich lady. He informs them that Marion left all of her money to various charities and educational institutions.
Yes, a fucking queen.
We love her. We love to see it. Obviously, the Halstons.
The perfect rich person.
The perfect rich person. The Halstons, particularly Larry, do not love it. Obviously, this upsets him. And though the lawyer informs them that the remainder of the estate is to be distributed among her next of kin as follows. To Mrs. Halston, a framed portrait of Marion from what appears to be like the early 1900s, which might have been. It's like this very ornate frame and, obviously a classical looking portrait. I don't think Mr. Halston gets anything, which would make sense because he's not an heir. He's married into the family. He gets half a share of that frame portion, I think, technically by marital estate law and et cetera, et cetera. Larry then gets an antique pirate spyglass, which actually is kind of dope. Probably very valuable, honestly. Yeah. But yeah, well, he obviously looks at it like, what the fuck? Like a toy. Exactly. And Hannah gets an antique handheld cosmetic mirror, which again, probably quite valuable. But a kid looking at it is like, what is this like clunky, ornate?
It's a mirror. You love those.
Mirror, yeah. And she does. At first, she's like, but then she looks in it and she's like, okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
So Larry, he grunts and calls the gifts a ripoff. And Hannah,
Marion was right to say fuck you to these people.
Exactly. Again, another reason to love her. Because clearly she knew that they wouldn't be, appreciative of whatever. Yeah. So
she knew they were going to buck up her casket and take the pillow out. And so she was like, you get nothing.
Aunt Marion spent that money becoming like an oracle and stuff, and like reading cards and everything, fortune telling.
How will they react when I die?
What these kids are going to do. Exactly.
They'll desecrate my corpse at the funeral by conking my head down. You get a spyglass.
Oh, put pins in all of this, Grace.
Oh,
You're just making me realize that actually adds perfectly to the story. Yes.
Okay.
And we'll get there in just one moment.
Okay.
So, yes, Hannah agrees with Larry that these gifts are a ripoff and sarcastically thanks her great aunt for the gifts, noting that she has the perfect place to put the mirror when she gets home.
She put it in the trash.
No, it's not, thankfully. I thought the same thing because, that's like the cliche.
Yeah.
But again, Hannah loves a mirror, we said, so she's not going to get rid of it. She just puts it deep in the back of a drawer in her like vanity or whatever in her bedroom, where she's unlikely to ever see the mirror again or see it anytime soon. So that night, after the sun goes down, Hannah begins to prepare for bed and for the next day of school. She picks out her outfit, she sets it out, I think hangs it up on her closet or something like that. But as she walks by her vanity, she notices the antique mirror sitting out on top of the drawer, propped up and ready to be used.
Okay.
At first, Hannah's shocked to see this because she's like, I know I put that in the drawer, in the back of the drawer, no less. And I don't think I took it off or took it out. But she brushes it off and just tosses it back in there, shuts the drawer, and then makes her way to bed. The next morning, we see her all dressed, prepping for school, brushing her teeth in the bathroom. And as she brushes, she looks down in the sink and again shocked to see, more shocked this time. You guessed it, the antique mirror in the sink, faced up right towards her. Yeah, Grace is like, when is this going to get scary?
I'm like, yeah, the aunt also bequeathed her ghost to these suckers.
Exactly. Or something that she got through her oracle and exactly. Her oracle and fortune telling type shit. So she grabs the mirror, Hannah, she grabs the mirror from the sink. But this time, before she tosses it to the side, she actually looks into it as she's brushing her teeth, trying to understand its mystery and its appeal and how the fuck it got here, but also being like, oh, hey, that's my reflection. Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Larry, meanwhile, walks by the bathroom at this point, and Hannah, who's like got her mouth full of foamy toothpaste, tells him to stop messing around with her stuff.
Okay,
kind of like implying that she thinks he is behind the mirror showing up in this thing. He's obviously a badass kid and is an annoying little brother. So it's very possible that he's been doing this. So Larry, though, he can't understand what the hell she's saying because she's got all this toothpaste in her mouth. So he's like, what? Nah, whatever. And just keeps it moving and heads out to school. And later that day, strange things continue as they do in Ouija Falls. In the cafeteria during lunchtime, Hannah, she's sitting by herself, so maybe she doesn't have as many friends as we kind of say she does or whatever. People are probably kind of annoyed with her pretentious fashion advice, etc. So she's sitting by herself and beginning to open her brown paper lunch bag. But as she looks in to see what her mom's packed for her, she's terrified when she sees sitting at the top of the bag, it's the mirror.
Okay.
She pulls it out, and this time she looks even. That bitch. It only makes me wonder what's happening with that pirate spyglass.
I know.
What's going on with Larry? Larry deserves it worse.
Larry's such a shit.
So she pulls the mirror out of the bag, and this time she starts looking a bit deeper into it, like really staring into it. And hilariously, she does this just as Mimi, Mo, and Hitch are walking by with their lunch, saying like, "Hey, look, she's having lunch with her best friend, aka her reflection." Burn. But that afternoon, when she gets home from school, Hannah runs straight to Larry's room and tells him to stop sneaking around through her shit and playing pranks on her. And Larry, who at this time I think is like playing with the little spyglass, just like looking through it and I don't know, like tossing it around in his hands. He's like super confused and has no idea what she's talking about. Like, I don't know what you mean. Like, I've not been in your room. I'm not playing any pranks on you. And so Hannah, she storms out of his room, obviously not believing him, and just slams his door shut and goes right back into her room. And so she tosses her little antique mirror back into this drawer in the vanity and slams it shut. And so at that point, she looks at like the regular main mirror that's, connected to this vanity and like, primps her hair a little bit and does a little fit check, etc. Make sure she sees how her reflection's looking. And at this point, as she's kind of like twirling her hair and everything, she hears a soft, raspy voice saying, Hannah, look at me. And at first, she walks to her door and screams out to Larry, like, shut up, stop messing with me.
Mm-hmm.
But she turns back around. She goes to look back at herself in the mirror. And on the way back to the mirror, she again hears the raspy voice saying, Hannah, look at me, like over and over and over and louder and louder. And so Hannah's like racing through her room, opening the closet, looking behind the window curtains under the bed, trying to figure out where this raspy voice is coming from.
Yeah.
And she gets up from under the bed, which, like, on the one hand, yeah, like, yeah, sure, look for it, but also, like, no, run away from it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, don't look at it.
No,
whatever's calling to you.
Get far away.
Yeah, never look at
it. Go
it.
away. That's like rule number one.
So the opposite of what's telling you.
Exactly. So she gets up from under the bed and she's getting more curious and curious. And then her eyes shoot wide and she freezes in her place. And she enters an immediate shock when she sees the antique mirror again sitting out on top of the vanity. But this time it lights up and reveals itself to like clearly be the source of this soft raspy voice, like lighting up brighter and brighter as it keeps saying her name.
Ooh.
So the mirror again commands Hannah to look into it. And her hands are trembling, and her eyes are fixated on this antique thing. And she reaches out for it and she slowly picks it up and lifts it up to her face. And in a matter of seconds, her tired, dreadful eyes, they fill up with just satisfaction and contentment. She's just kind of happy. And she begins to smile as she admires her reflection. Or what she thinks is her reflection.
This is not the reaction you want to see when someone touches a haunted object.
You don't want finding peace in that object.
Yeah, no, not good.
So what she thinks she sees in this is her reflection, aka an image of her. But this image is wearing this different outfit from what she's got on right now. This image is wearing like a trendy crop top and maxi skirt combo. And so Hannah's looking at it saying, wow, look at me. What an amazing outfit. Where can I buy that? And the mirror simply responds to her saying, make it. If you make it, they will drool. Like, I love it. They're gonna love this thing. Dreams. Yeah.
If you build it, they will come.
They will come. If you make it, they will drool.
Wow. Okay. So maybe Aunt Marion's teaching her some good life skills. Learn how to sew.
Yeah, sure. True. It is. Yeah. Learn how to sew. But
do something useful with your time.
So I think Hannah already knows how to sew. But at the same point, she's saying, make your own clothes. Like, be your own thing. Girl boss, do your thing. Yeah. Like, be a fashion influencer if you had Instagram back in that day or TikTok. So we then see Hannah in this sort of hypnotic trance. She's still got like just that happiness in her eyes, but she's just laser focused, spending the entire night creating this outfit that she saw in the mirror from scratch with the sewing machine that she has in her room. Okay. So like she's already got this whole corner with like all these fabrics and all the gadgets and everything, this massive sewing machine like attached to a table. So again, I think her parents are rich and they know that she loves fashion. So they were like, and let her do her thing. So again, cool. we don't totally hate Hannah. She could be better, but we love great Aunt Marion, but we don't hate Hannah. We dislike Hannah, but we like her from afar. How about that? Right.
She's got some room to grow and improve. But don't
we all? And that's why don't we all? And that is what makes her a good subject for today's episode, because boy, oh boy, are we going to see some. Hannah's going to go through some adversity. All right. So
she needs it, honestly.
She needs it. So the next morning, Hannah, she arrives at school in this brand new fit, which is, as I described earlier, like the crop top and maxi skirt, whatever. But I'll just add that it looks like in the reflection in the mirror and now that she's sewed it, it looks oddly like it was made with like underwear or something, or like, I can't explain it, or like with like sportswear where it's got like the lining, I don't know what you call it, like the
Oh, like the
bands, like
band?
the
Yeah.
elastic bands kind of around it. I don't,
It's
when you see
giving
it, you'll know.
like 2020.
Fitty chic wear,
Yeah,
fit chic wear.
exactly. Yeah, I feel like athleisure made into fashion is a thing now,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, I
ahead of
think
her
so.
time.
She really is. Yeah, she like flipped it into athleisure business casual, fit
Okay, what a
chic,
combo.
you know? Yeah, so good for her. You know, she's again, this mirror is literally teaching her
Is
things
seeing
that
the
no one has
future.
ever seen. It's seeing the future. It's saying if you make it, people will drool. You will become a
Yes,
fashion icon,
you will
okay?
become a designer of all designers.
Exactly. And so, yeah, the mirror, it wasn't lying because when she gets to school the next day, she's like, showcasing this brand new fit. She's talking
Mhm.
about it. She's announcing its purpose, what it's inspired by. I actually think she says it's inspired by some like tropical island resort wear or something. So, like, we're kind of
Oh,
in that
okay.
area with like athleisure,
Yeah.
chic, sporty fit,
Yeah,
chic,
yeah.
smart casual. I don't know, whatever
Situation.
situation thing
Can you
ish.
tell we know
So
fashion?
we're just repeating the same words over and over.
The more times I say chic, the more it becomes chic, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's how that works. So she's sure to tell everyone, though, that this is a custom fit made by her for her. And she, yes, is explaining what, the mindset going into it, the fashion behind it, the real inspiration.
Mm.
And while she may, you know, while we may have like kind of shit on her fabric choice for this outfit and, low key kind of made fun of it, but we see the vision,
Yeah.
whatever. The other students, they don't care and either don't care at all or are under some sort of spell when they see this because they
Oh,
start oohing and eyeing and like
okay.
all just flock towards her and just one by one are asking her almost like they're paparazzi, asking her about
Oh.
like her design work, her inspiration, where she got the ideas, where she gets
Hmm.
the fabrics, and they're just marveling in her stylistic glory. Like she is a
Okay.
goddess of fashion at this point to the students at Lone Pine High School.
Okay.
And so they're all asking her now for style tips, for where to find the trendiest pieces, etc. They like want her advice, they want her counsel on how to look like her.
Okay.
And of
She is an
course,
influencer.
she is before social media even existed.
Wow.
She is. She's
Okay.
the OG influencer. Hannah, she's gobbling this shit up. She's loving it.
Mm.
She's living for this, obviously. She feeds on the attention and the general public's acknowledgement that she is indeed better dressed than the rest of them. Like,
Great.
finally, you see it, you accept it, and you agree with me.
Yes, I am better than you.
I am, and you all
Great.
know it now. I can say it out loud and not feel as
Can say
bad
what we're all
about it.
thinking.
Yeah.
Can say the quiet
So,
part out loud.
yeah. So, seeing the need to continue feeding her ego, she runs home after school. And again, she stares directly, deeply into this antique mirror, waiting to see what outfit it inspires her to create next. And indeed, the mirror provides. It
Okay.
essentially, or it eventually lends her or leads her to spend another night sewing away this new fit so that she can then impress her classmates.
Okay.
And look, this continues on for several nights, so I'm not going to go through
We
all
get
of the
montage.
outfits and stuff. Again, we don't know fashion here. What I'll say is that they're chic and they're smart casual and
They're ahead of her time. They're
ahead of
chic,
her
did I
time.
mention?
Did I say maybe another one is athleisure? I don't know, maybe. But yeah, we do in a way get a montage where every night over like the course of a week, maybe Hannah's
Mm,
up all night just making a brand new outfit, staring deeply into this mirror, getting the inspiration, sewing away. The sun goes down, moon comes up, sun comes back up, and we
yeah.
just see the light in her bedroom on all night as she's sewing. She goes to school. The kids love it. The teenagers there love it. Everyone wants her
Mm.
advice. Everyone's always flocking to her. She's always flaunting. We see this montage,
She's
etc. She's
becoming a fashion icon.
icon. The school is too small for her, so she then goes on to the mall to flaunt her
Oh,
stuff.
Okay.
Right. And everyone there is stopping and staring at her and asking for her advice and cheering her on. And then the mall is too small. So exactly. So then she takes to the city streets, everywhere she goes, like walking in front of stores, in front of like the movie theater, etc. Everywhere she goes, people stop and stare and cheer her on and love her fit, asking her for fashion advice. And many, many more nights go by like this, with Hannah getting no beauty rest, importantly. Like for most people, it's like, it's just sleep. But for Hannah, remember, it's beauty rest.
Yes.
And she's burning the midnight oil constantly, sewing away new outfits at the order of her new antique mirror. And eventually, the physical toll this has on her body becomes clear. And Hannah seems absolutely drained at school. Her fits are still fitting, don't get me wrong. Like, she's still chic and fashionable.
She's becoming heroin chic, perhaps, with this tired look that she has.
To a T. Her eyes, they're like weighed down by bags underneath. Her hair is like disheveled and uncombed. She looks like very just drained, and like her face like she probably hasn't been eating either, because she's just been sewing all day and like walking the runway all day. Her posture, life, the sidewalk is her runway. Anything. Who was it? Tom Haverford, Parks and Rec. I put red inserts in my shoes so that when I'm walking, I'm on the right carpet. I'm always on the right carpet. Everything is a runway for Hannah. Yes. So, yes, she has like slouched posture. She's lethargic. She's lost any life and joie de vivre. She is becoming a supermodel. People are coming up to her still and asking for her tips and advice, and she's just kind of brushing them away. Like, she's literally tired at this point. She's trying to avoid these people. But I will say, I said her fit is still fitting, and I just have to describe. This is the only one I will describe.
Okay, yes, let me hear it.
I know you're going to appreciate this.
Oh, God.
Hannah is full of risks, okay? She is so forward-thinking.
Yes, that's what fashion is.
This fit, I think it's probably like her last for real fit, because she's obviously kind of at a cliff right now. She is wearing, like, imagine Michael Jackson.
Oh, God, okay.
Remember when he would wear the various, like, the only thing, I tried to Google what this is fucking called. The only thing I could come up with was, like, the Captain Crunch, like, red,
a tassel situation,
version, like tassels, the like badges and all the gold 100%. Frills with the thin black pants and like the black boots, etc. That's literally what she's wearing.
Honestly, absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Would still wear to this day.
That is why I said she may be physically drained and look like a mess, but the fit is fitting.
Again, she's every day getting one step closer to becoming a supermodel.
Yes, she is putting in the work.
Exactly. They always look tired.
She is trying so hard to get that spot on America's Next Top Model.
Which is probably premiering in 2002.
That's what I was just thinking. I wish I would have looked that up, but like in my brain, I had to do a quick calculation. Like what year did that first come out? Early 2000s, I think?
Yeah. Probably.
So, yes. One morning, probably the next morning after she like runs away, after this Michael Jackson inspired fit day.
After she moonwalks away from the paparazzi.
Oh my God. That would have been so beautiful if she had done that. I wish.
She's too tired.
We're going to say we're writing it as if she did. Yeah, she like tiredly moonwalks out of there. Like, I need to go. So she's at home. Of course, it's the morning before school. And she is asleep face down in a bowl of cereal at the kitchen table at home.
Not doing good.
Her mother, she comes up to her like, Hannah, we've got your like quarterly report card or something, and your grades are freaking terrible. You've gone from a B average to your highest grade being a D minus. What the hell is going on? Yeah, like, whoa, bad drop. And so Mrs. Halston is obviously scolding her, yelling at her, saying that she thought that she was staying up, that Hannah was staying up late at night studying, because they're not total absent parents. They at least saw that Hannah was up late at night every night for the past several weeks, but they thought she was studying like a normal, well, I don't know if that's like a normal kid, but whatever. But Larry apparently told them told Mrs. Halston in particular that Hannah's actually been sewing and making new outfits every night. That's why she's staying up late. And at this point, Larry's sitting by her at the table, just smugly looks at her like, yeah, I told on you, bitch.
I ratted on you.
Yeah, what you gonna do about it? Well, Hannah is obviously glaring him down.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Halston, she tells Hannah that she needs to essentially get her shit together immediately. And Hannah's like, but Mom, you don't know how hard it is being a fashion icon. Like, it's so hard. While also looking into the antique mirror at the table, applying like a fresh layer of lipstick and touching up her makeup. Yeah.
Getting those bags under her eyes gone.
Exactly. Like, I gotta look a little bit less tired.
Yeah.
And her mom just kind of like scoffs and rolls her eyes at her. And Hannah packs her makeup and her, mirror into her book bag and heads off to school. And that evening, as she gets home from school, Hannah is exhausted. And it shows everywhere. Like, I know it said it showed before, but like, it's true now. I mean, she just walks into her bedroom and literally plops right into bed. Like, oh my God, I need some rest. But of course, the mirror is calling her, telling her that she needs to make more clothes. She needs to make another outfit. Chop, chop, Hannah, let's go. But Hannah refuses, saying that she just needs one good night of sleep. Just one. She's like, please, just let me sleep tonight. And I promise, like, I'm obviously going to get back to making new clothes tomorrow. But I need a break, which is fair. Or maybe it's not fair. You're right. But
you want to be on top?
Montage of her in all of her outfits.
Smizing.
Yes. So Hannah, though, she ignores the mirror and she immediately falls asleep. And this is, going off of like a 20-day bender, essentially.
Yeah, not
sleep deeper than she has had in weeks. So deep that she does not hear the angry rumblings and howlings, literally howlings of this antique mirror. And she does not grasp how betrayed this mirror feels. So Hannah wakes up the next morning, refreshed and rejuvenated. Like, oh man, that was amazing. I feel like a new person. I so badly needed that. And she springs out of bed, excited to start the next day, when she realizes, though, that not only did she not lay an outfit out for today, she didn't make one. She says she forgot to make one, but obviously we know she needed the night of sleep.
Yes.
But she panics for a second and then brushes it off like, you know what? No, I've got 1,000 of outfits in my closet that I can wear. I've just made so many new ones and I had a bunch of stuff before that. So she's like, I'll just wear something that I've worn before.
Okay, good.
So she puts back on, of all choices, her first fit that she made inspired by the mirror.
She didn't even mix and match?
No, she didn't even mix and match. She didn't like do a new top with the skirt. She didn't do like, jeans with the top or whatever. No, she just puts back on that same fit. But the mirror, it tries to command her to look into it and to create a new outfit. It's like on the vanity by her, of course, calling her saying, look at me, you need a new outfit. And Hannah, I guess this mirror has evolved, right? She's like letting it get a little too powerful because at this point, Hannah's having like a full-on conversation with this thing. It's not just saying, look at me and showing her things. Responding. It's like saying shit. It's responding.
Okay.
Because Hannah's like, I don't have time today. Like, I got to get to school and I've only worn this outfit once before. So it's fine. It's not like people are going to like go that crazy or be that mad about it. The mirror's not having it. It's like, no, you need to make something else, blah, blah, blah. And the mirror at this point, it begins to levitate and floats around Hannah's room, violently shaking and screaming for her to look into it.
Oh, no.
And when she again refuses, the mirror shoots itself through her room and directly into the large mirror that Hannah is looking in, causing this massive crack to just form right through the middle of the mirror. And Hannah's like, that's not going to stop me. Like, I have another mirror. So then she runs into the bathroom where she continues to get ready and uses the mirror in there instead. But as she's primping in the bathroom, that mirror out of nowhere suddenly just cracks and the glass all shatters everywhere.
Bad luck.
Which would also be fucking terrifying. And yes, very unlucky. So she then runs out of the bathroom and back towards her room. But every mirror that she looks into along the way, like lining the hallways of their house, yes, just cracks and shatters into hundreds of pieces throughout the hallway. Okay. So she eventually gets back into her room and she confronts the mirror, the antique mirror, picks it up and tells it to stop messing with her. But when she looks into it, she sees herself in yet another fashion forward fit.
Oh no.
And the mirror tries to force her to make it, like, you must make this. You have to make this. But Hannah resists. But this time, her reflection, it gets a little pushier. Yes, you push back. You push back. But as she pushes back, the reflection pushes back some more too. Okay. Telling her how lame her current outfit is, telling her how good she'll look in this new fit and how she needs to look her best. But Hannah reminds the mirror that she doesn't have time and she can just change into something else then if, this fit isn't good enough for the mirror. But when she opens her closet back up to find a new outfit, all of her clothes are ripped and torn apart.
Oh,
everything just like someone just clawed at them.
Okay, so we got fashion demon. Not just a fashion icon.
Not a fashion spirit. Not a fashion icon. A fashion demon.
Okay.
Want to be on top? Why do I feel like we've done this on
I think we have
podcast?
I think our most referenced other shows are Pimp My Ride and America's Next Top Model, which definitely were showing at the same time. Those were definitely in the same era of reality TV.
Agree. And like the same vein, the same style, but like different genres, but same vibes.
Yes, exactly. Of like absolute just fucking utter chaos. Yes. Nothing good happening and during our formative years. That's why we always reference them. And we're not sorry
but the purest of all entertainment at the same time at other people's unfortunate expense. Anyways. So yes. So Hannah, she sees all of her clothes ripped up and she panics at this, like, oh my God, what's happening? What happened to all my stuff? And then she looks down, had her own outfit and realizes that the outfit she currently has on has now been ripped and torn and is tattered as well.
Now it's scary.
Now this
is real bad. Okay. Now it's violent.
Okay. Because this is now where the episode takes the classic Moville Mysteries turn into psychological torture of teenagers.
Yes, pure horror. Cool.
At this point, the mirror tells her that now she has to make a new outfit, right? Because everything she owns is ripped up, even the outfit she's got on. But Hannah again refuses, deciding to instead just throw on a gray sweatsuit before running out of there and making her way to school. Which, hey, still a fit. I love a straight, nice sweatsuit. Like
a monochrome sweatsuit is in.
Exactly, it is.
I don't know, the last couple of years
the pop of color. With the pop of color in the sneakers or something.
Yes.
Like, boom.
Ahead of her time
rocket, Hannah. She is. So, Hannah, she sits and I guess so before she actually leaves the house for school, she obviously grabs breakfast downstairs. And she's sitting and eating next to her brother, Larry, again, who is obviously making fun of her sweatsuit. Like, what is that? What are you wearing?
What do you know, Larry?
Exactly. He doesn't see the vision. Okay.
Larry, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And I guess I never described this kid. I honestly kind of forget what he looks like. I feel like all the young boys on Moville Mysteries kind of look the same. Like he looks like Milo and Mo, like a skinny version of Mo, I guess, little.
Yeah.
But I think he always just wears a t-shirt and shorts. It's all boxy looking shit. Like he doesn't know what the fuck. Exactly. Oh my God. We're making fun of the little boy's clothing.
Yeah, before we started.
Yeah.
Anyways, don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
But you can, as an adult woman, get great jeans from the Old Navy boys section. That's all I'm going to say.
Totally related to the conversation, just so you guys know. Take Grace's advice on that. Yeah, so, anyways, Yeah, Larry's making fun of her. But Hannah, she's too, tired and honestly at this point probably a little terrified as well about what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on. And she's like not told anyone in her family about it either. I mean, what would they
Okay.
say though? Also, like you're going
Sure,
crazy.
sure, Hannah.
Sure. So she just like lazily tells Larry to shut up, like, shut up, stop messing with me.
Yeah.
But as she's eating her breakfast, she looks deep into the spoon that she's
Oh
using
no.
to eat her food. And she notices something terrifying and shocking. And her first thought is, holy shit. It was probably, holy shit. Am I a vampire? Just kidding. Not really. But really, it's because she can't see her reflection in the
Oh.
spoon. Yes.
Oh,
And
she's
so
like, I
she kind of
hope I'm a
like,
vampire. That seems
I
better than
know,
whatever the fuck is
right?
happening now.
Yeah. Or I hope that I'm just like still asleep or just really tired and am
Yeah, dirty
hallucinating.
spoon, maybe.
Yeah. So she like throws her spoon down and is shocked. And
Uh-huh.
she looks for the next closest thing she can find that she might be able to see her reflection in, and it is the toaster, thankfully, not the mirror, but the
Uh-huh.
toaster. And she runs and stares deeply into it, but again, sees no reflection, no shadow, not even like any
Okay.
sort of mirror image, nothing. So she throws the toaster down with a gasp and runs out of the house to go to school, probably just saying like, I'm just tired. I didn't get enough sleep.
Yeah.
And Larry kind of is looking at this like, what the hell? And so he like goes and looks at the toaster too, and like clearly can see his reflection though. So
Okay.
he's like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Anyways, so that day at school, it doesn't get that much easier for Hannah. She can't hide her fatigue and all of the worry in her eyes about all the weird shit that's been going on with
Yeah.
her. And all of her classmates, like again, seeing her just in this all gray sweatsuit, they're just like gossiping and whispering as she like
Oh.
walks by them in the halls with her head down, looking just exhausted and defeated and,
Hmm.
wrinkled, I
Traumatized.
guess. Yeah, traumatized. And so at this point, Hannah Halston has officially fallen from celebrity status to a fallen star.
Oh.
And obviously the kids love this because I think Mo like pops on screen for like a little
Ah.
narration and is like, what do kids love more than a celebrity? A fallen idol or something like that. So they're obviously all sharing the tea,
Honestly, so true about
giggling at
culture.
her.
They love
So
to see the
true. Like
fall.
he called it. Exactly. We love to follow them on their come up and then to
We
even
love even
more
more when they
so
crash. Yep.
their downfall. Exactly. So, probably to like try and lift her spirits a little bit, after class, Hannah decides to go to the shopping mall and just kind of walk around.
Mhm.
And she overhears some of the popular classmates of hers whispering about her, saying, I can't believe we ever took fashion advice from her, which also, like, they're not even whispering it. They're just softly saying it. They know she can hear her.
Yeah.
And they're, talking more shit about her and how her outfit is terrible and how she literally looks terrible. And so at this point, she runs away from them and then runs directly into the nerdy classmates from
Girls from
earlier in the
before.
episodes. Yes, Dodie and Stella, who actually are like, hey, Hannah, you want to go shopping with us and help us pick out new outfits? And
Yeah.
they're like, we really like your new outfit. Like, it seems more practical than some of the recent stuff you've been
True.
making, which, like, very true. And also, how kind of these girls to, like,
Yeah.
say very kind things about Hannah as she clearly is going through some shit.
Yeah.
But Hannah takes this more as an insult because, like,
Uh,
fashion isn't about practicality. It's about aesthetics, right?
and
So she's
chicness.
like, and chicness, exactly. So the word practical is like a slur, essentially, I feel like, too. Um, Fashion icons and fashion forward people. So she runs away from them. And as she runs away, she begins to have like a bit of a panic attack and a
Mm.
bout of anxiety as she's going through this mall. And she's running into like mannequins and is like
Oh God.
terrified and scared by their headless bodies, like reminding her of how she also can't see her own
Yes, I was about
reflection
to
or
say
how
she
she
still can't
looks.
see
Yeah,
herself. Yeah.
exactly. She's literally traumatized right now. And then she turns around and sees her possessed reflection in the various mirrors, like through the jewelry section, you've got little mirrors on the counter, and you've got mirrors like on the wall of different aisles of, clothing sections, etc. And so it's like a really bad place to be if you're having anxiety about mirrors right now is like a department store, I feel like. So
yeah, you got to get out of there.
So she's like hyperventilating, crying and stuff as her cursed, possessed reflection is taunting her as she's running through this department store in this mall, mocking her lack of style and her fall from grace, and telling her that without me, aka without your reflection, you're nothing.
Damn.
And so Hannah's in a full-blown panic, running away, and finds herself in, again, a moment of psychological torture, the classic Moville Mysteries scene.
Oh no.
This empty black room with nothing but
another dimension.
Another dimension. Literally, she somehow crossed the plane.
Drop. Yep.
She is in a black room with a single mirror at the end of this room.
Okay.
And she walks to the mirror and then actually sees that it's more like two-sided glass that allows her to see outside of the glass but prevents others from looking in.
Yeah.
And she sees Dodie and Stella in the department store running into those other two popular girls from their school, asking if they've seen Hannah anywhere. And they're like, yeah, like, I don't know, she was here somewhere, but like we didn't want to be seen with her or whatever.
Yeah.
And Dodie and Stella are like, well, we're really worried about her. Like, she seemed like something didn't seem right.
Bad.
And we're
she's like she's having a psychotic break. We should get her committed. Maybe she's not she's a danger unto herself right now.
And others, but especially to herself. Something is very, very wrong, and she's in a public space.
Yeah, so she needs help right now, and
she needs help.
Want to help.
Exactly. And the other classmates are obviously like, whatever, and like go away.
Yeah.
And so Dodie and Stella are like standing there still looking around, like, God, like we gotta find her. We need to like, again, something is wrong. And they're like, sorry, I'm just saying how you said a psychotic break.
Oh no.
Because they're just like, she does not deserve to go through this alone. The fact that you described it that way just made it that much more perfect.
Yeah, because they are like, yes, she should not be alone right now. We need to help this young woman.
Literally, she needs medication. So anyways, overhearing this gives Hannah the resolve to escape whatever like black hole she's in. And so she like starts banging on the wall, trying to get their attention, but obviously they can't help her because we don't know where the fuck she's in another dimension. Yeah, we don't know where the fuck she's trapped right now. But eventually she is confronted with her possessed reflection, telling her how lame she is for wanting to hang out with these nerdy girls, and how she gave up. I know, right? Terrible. And how she gave up being both a local and global fashion icon when she refused to listen to the mirror's commands. Global. So Hannah continues to run through this dark abyss while confronting her reflection. Like it keeps popping up in front of her wherever she goes in this dark area, and tells her that she's a fashion disaster and that she needs to avoid Stella and Dodie. They're beneath her, trying to like control Hannah. But Hannah, she's sick of this. She toughens up. This reflection has chat talk on Dodie and Stella a little too much now for Hannah. Yeah. So she tells her reflection, she stands up tall to the reflection and says that those two girls are nice and they're allowed to wear whatever they want. And I don't need the latest fashion to feel good about myself. And neither do they. Hannah. Exactly. Unlike Hannah's reflection, I think she says. So Hannah then tells the reflection that Stella and Dodie, they're her real friends. They are her friends. And the reflection then grows to an enormous size. And it forbids Hannah from engaging with her. I guess at this point, it's not even a reflection. It's just like her talking to herself, but clearly in like this chic outfit and like with a much more like fierce and angry face. Yeah. And so, it like grows 2 times her size and forbids Hannah from engaging with those 2 nerds. But Hannah, again, she tells the reflection off or the double off and says she's not going to let this reflection, the mirror, run her life anymore. Yeah. And so the reflection tries to plead one last time, but Hannah refuses again and says, why do you have to cut other people down to feel good about yourself? Do you get a kick out of hurting their feelings? So what if you look great on the outside? It's what's on the inside that really counts. It's you who's the loser. You have no friends, but I do.
Aww.
And with each statement,
is this a wholesome episode?
It's getting there. Yes.
Yeah,
hey, these kids gotta learn. These kids gotta learn. So with each statement, the reflection, it gets smaller and smaller and starts cowering and fearing Hannah more and more. And the abyss, this black nothingness that she's in, it gets lighter and lighter until it's revealed that Hannah is actually still in the department store. She was literally just like having a psychotic break somewhere, probably in a corner. People were probably like avoiding her. Yeah, like, oh, honey, just walk around. Just walk around, honey, that woman. It's fine. Someone will be here to help her soon, I think, hopefully.
We'll call the mall cop over to get her back to her parents.
Yeah. And so she's like, she's got her eyes closed and her arms crossed, like just standing by herself, like half awake, half asleep in this sort of like lucid state, whatever, standing in front of a mirror, reciting all of this out to this monologue, or reciting this monologue out, to a mannequin, it appears.
Oh, God.
And she opens her eyes and realizes, like, oh, thank God I'm still in the mall. / also, oh, God, how many people saw that? But after this, she sees Dodie and Stella still looking for her. So she runs over to them and is like, hey, guys, wait for me. And as soon as they see her, I think they all hug her and they're like, oh, my God, we've been looking all over for you. We were so worried. Like, are you okay? And she's like, I've been looking for you guys, too. And they're just kind of confused. What?
Okay.
Where were you?
Are you okay?
Are you okay? But at this point, Stella just kind of brushes it, Hannah, she brushes it all off. And Stella's like, well, do you want to come shopping with us? And Hannah's like, no, actually, can we go like to the arcade and like shoot some hoops instead or something, since I'm already dressed for it? And they all like laugh or whatever. And hand in hand, or like arms around shoulders and everything, the three girls walk off through the mall, laughing, chuckling at Hannah's joke. And this indeed is the first laugh and smile that we've seen from Hannah Halston for quite a while. The end.
Wow. Wow. That really was a Regina George arc in the end, too. Regina George also ended up being like a lacrosse player.
Yeah.
In the end.
Then, yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Now, but I will say also, just as a side note, because, Mo, our narrator, he was like narrating different parts of the story. Yeah. But really the funniest part is at the very end there, after the girls are all like leaving the department store, we see Mo's reflection in a mirror. And then he just like walks out of the mirror into the store and is like, just like a 2-for-1 sale, Hannah has traded in her only friend for 2 real ones. Who knows what you might see when you take a long, hard look in the mirror. And then that is truly the end of the episode. So he has like a real Twilight Zone Rod Serling moment.
I was about to be like, narrating. Mo was in a different dimension for like most of this episode, and we just didn't see it.
We didn't know it. Yeah. Yep.
Wow. So, I loved that.
The end.
Moville Mysteries getting wholesome.
Truly wholesome. Yeah. That was almost like it had like Hey Arnold vibes to it.
Yeah.
Know? Like,
wow. In like a Twilight Zone fucked up way.
Yeah. In a Twilight Zone. Hey Arnold meets the Twilight Zone. Yeah.
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 Exactly.
So, a fun one. Yet again, like you said, creepy, spooky, mysterious. Something fucked up's going to happen to some kids. It had it all. A trademark Moville Mysteries episode.
Yes. So. Wow. I can't wait to see this fashion show of an episode. And to go watch it and see the fits, including the comfy fit at the end, which, as we know, is probably our choice.
Our choice. Yeah. I'm already halfway there. Just throw a sweatshirt on over this. And
yeah, exactly.
That's me.
Done.
Hey, Hannah Halston doesn't have to like me. I don't care.
Hey, and she would now anyways. She realized.
Exactly. Yeah. She learned her lesson.
Yes.
So,
wow, great job.
Yet another. Thank you. Thank you. So another creepy episode of Moville Mysteries down. Grace will be telling us yet another one next week.
Oh, yes.
Her last one next week, actually, right? So we are already coming to the end of this arc already. It's sad.
I'm heartbroken.
But I know that she will grace us with yet another wonderful story.
Thank you.
That joke never gets old. So
never.
Until then, that's 31 years on, you're like, yeah, never gets old. So until then, though, who should they tell about this podcast?
I think you should tell your most fashionable friend. Even when you're like a bum like we are most of the time, we know fashionable people. It ain't me, but I know some. And so, you should tell whatever friend of yours is like always staying up with the trends, is always trendy, is always chic, if you will, and let them know about our show. And who should they tell after that?
I think if you're going to tell your most fashionable friend, then you should be fair and also tell your least fashionable or most unfashionable friend.
And be like, it's what's on the inside that counts.
Exactly. Hey, this podcast is for you. You can learn something from the episode from episode, what is this, like 118 or something like that? I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Just take a listen and see if you learn something. And also the hosts like you are usually just wearing like
comfy
bratty t-shirts and sweatshirts. So yeah, you might like it.
Take a note. You might relate to them. I'm literally in a t-shirt and spandex right now.
I'm in a t-shirt and baggy sweatpants.
Yep, hell yeah.
That have some holes in them. So
classic us. Wow.
It's a waist up situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, for both of us, as per usual. Nice. Precisely. Well, until next week, another episode of Moville Mysteries. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.